Any doubts from our last class? Any doubts? What is our last class? What is our last class? We started with which topic? Lower class movement in the caste movement. Okay, that took turn as a class movement somewhere. So it was failed. That was the thing we discussed. Right? It is one of another drawback of lower caste movement. Somewhere it took a turn of lower class movement. Right? That is also we discussed it. Then we started Bombay Residency lower caste movement. There we discussed it. Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Satyashodak Samaj, and we discussed Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, his profile, right? And we also discussed All India Depressed Class Federation or Association, right? And we discussed some of the writings, some of the books of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, right? What are the books? What are the books?
What does Gandhi and
Don't look at your notes and tell me what are the journals of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. What is the Mook Naik, Bahishkrita Bharata and many more. But we discussed it yesterday, only two things, and in future we are going to discuss lot many things. And another book which he wrote, the title itself talks about what Gandhi and Congress, ANC, which do for untouchables, right? And he was a war cabinet minister at the war cabinet, and he assumed a portfolio of law. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then what we discussed? Did he Bharata Ratna?
Yes.
Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? So after death, that means posthumous. Right? Next. Critical appraisal of lower caste movement or critical analysis we discussed it. What does it shows, like how it looks like the lower caste appraisals or lower caste movement, how it looks like. In the critical we discussed it, that's what, right? So tell me the answer.
Quite a long time.
Very good. Next. Within lower caste there is a subcaste problem. Next. That reservation and separate communal electorate. That was the thing. Separate electorate and reservation. Which is better for community? Which is better for community? Separate electorate or reservation? Which would? Separate electorate. So what is the difference?
ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರನ್ನೇ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಿ ಅವರೇ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಯಾರು ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಅವರು ಮಾತ್ರ.
Okay.
ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸೀಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ.
Very good. Very good. So what is the practical problem in reservation?
ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್
So what happens if that was the case? What happens to that community?
ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇವರಿಗೆ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಅವರ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದವರಿಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Even though he may be a person from the lower caste, once he sit in that chair, once he had a desire to sit in that chair, what he will do? He will start to praise the upper caste instead of doing welfare to the community which he belongs to. Right? Next. If you know, that means you understood the reservation and separate electorate concept. Next, what we discussed? What we discussed? Critical analysis of the 19th century Renaissance, which we started from way back to yesterday's class, right? So, what is the critical analysis? How we will analyze the entire concept? How will analyze? How are you going to analyze? Tell me. Open your mouth.
ರಿನೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್
So we just compared our Renaissance with the European Renaissance. European Renaissance, which is something broad, and Indian Renaissance, which is not broad, and even European Renaissance, which united the population. Here it was divided the population. So we can't consider this as a 100% Renaissance. So Indian Renaissance is something which is different from the European kinds of Renaissance. That is, we discussed. So what is the difference of European Renaissance and Indian Renaissance? Change in every sphere of life. Here change in only some spheres of life. Right? Again, what else is the difference?
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಟೈಪ್ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ ಬೇರೆ ಇತ್ತು ರಿಫಾರ್ಮ್.
So here it failed a secular concept within the Renaissance. There that was successful. Next.
ಮತ್ತೆ Renaissance ಅವರ ಸ್ಲೋಗನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
Yes.
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಹಿಂದೂ
Yes, yes.
The formation of
What is nation state? What is the difference between United States of America and India in terms of the state and nation? Double citizenship in USA. One is state citizenship and another one is national citizenship. That is not the case in Indian citizenship. Right? Here, in which part of the constitution the citizenship comes?
51.
Which part? Astral part is another. Which part? In our last class I discussed this. That is there. What is part 1? Okay, what is fundamental right? Part 4. What is part 4? What is part 4A? What is part 5? Go and look at your polity notes. Next. I will learn, yeah? Don't worry. Future. Next. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಲ್ಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಓವರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ 9th schedule?
State
Okay, leave. That was the first Constitutional Amendment Act, right? And they introduced the 9th schedule. That was the first Constitutional Amendment Act, and they introduced the 9th schedule for Article 31B.
ಸರ್ ಅದೇ ನೀವು ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಜುಡಿಷಿಯರಿ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ
Right. Okay, come here. Freedom struggle we discussed it. So in this freedom struggle, what we discussed initially? Facts. Like, tell me, what is the fact? This is the longest and broadest in terms of the numbers, in terms of the period, which was what? Mass movement, right?
ಅದರ ಥೀಮ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಅಹಿಂಸೆ ಮತ್ತೆ
They accepted non-violence and
but it is not possible.
non-violence and satyagraha, but in all spheres they failed to implement it.
Yes.
Right? In many spheres they try to implement it, but that is not universal.
Yes.
Because that is the longest ever movement. Some part of the time they lose this, the main agenda of the entire freedom struggle. They lost. Next.
ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಲಿ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ
So by discussing in that school of thought, I just initiated a thought like not just suppression, not just the bad thing which they have done to Indian. That is the motive. Not just that is the motivation for the freedom struggle, but also the good things. The good governance is also motivation for the freedom struggle. Why? Lord Ripon, he did tremendous work for the country called India. Then also that is a motivation for the freedom struggle. That is my conclusion in our last class. Why? We discussed this. Progressive legislation, and that is the reason for the lower caste movement. That is the reason for the rest of the movement, right? When the people started to think, when were they going to think? When they get education. So who gave education? Macaulay. That means English, right? So when they did some of the social empowerment kind of things, when they started this kind of concept like all are equal before law, right? Or law, which would be the highest, which is the highest thing, and there are no above the law. This kind of concept. So when the Britishers started to talk, they started the talk like all are equal before law. So these lower caste they started to think, and middle class they started to question. They started the questioning kind of behavior. This is the thing we discussed. Next, what we discussed. There I stopped, I guess. What is the last line?
Factory Act.
Indian Factory
Indian
Act.
Vernacular Act was abolished. That was the one. Lord Ripon, on the other hand, introduced series of liberal. Okay.
ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅದು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂತ ಅಬೋಲಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಅಬೋಲಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ರಿಬ್ಬನ್ ಅಬೋಲಿಷನ್
1882. 1882. Okay. 1878. Lord Lytton introduced. Okay. Civil services, reserving 1/6 of the total number of the posts. Lord Ripon, on the other hand, in 1882, the statutory civil services. In 1882, the statutory civil services were abolition. Statutory civil services was abolition. And Indian Famine Code was introduced. Indian Famine Code. Indian Famine Code. Underline this. Indian Famine Code was introduced. The first Indian Famine Commission was appointed. The first Indian Famine Commission was appointed under Sir Richard Strachey. Sir Richard Strachey. Strachy. Sir Richard Strachey. He was the president of that committee. This may be your prelims question. He was the president of first Indian Famine Commission. Okay. So because of that, this commission is also called as Richard Commission or Richard Strachey Commission, like that. Okay. Next, in 1882, in order to promote primary education, Lord Ripon, he founded the first Indian Education Commission. Very important. The first Indian Education Commission, which is also called as Hunter Commission. First Indian Education Commission, which is also called as Hunter Commission. ಇದು ಹಾಕಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ ಮಾರ್ಕರ್ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ವಾ? First Indian Education Commission is also called as Hunter Commission. So this commission, which recommended to the existing British government that you must privatize the education. Hunter Commission recommended that you must privatize the education. From here, not just the government entity, but also private education started right after this Hunter Commission. This may be a prelims question. When private education in India started, right after the recommendation of the Hunter Commission, which was founded by Lord Ripon. Formed by Lord Ripon. Next, in 1882, so this 1882 is very important here because a lot of reforms with respect to India also happened. Now, from the local government perspective, in 1882, the Lord Ripon, he provided a grant for autonomous bodies. Grants means financial grants. Autonomous bodies. And for this, he was regarded as till today he was regarded as, Lord Ripon was regarded as father of local self-government. Father of local self-government. While discussing local bodies, I will again come back to this person. He was the one who recognized the local bodies. Lord Ripon, one who recognized the local bodies, and he was the one who gave fund to local bodies. Before there was no fund for the local bodies. So he was called father of, this is one of the old UPSC question. Which Governor General was called father of modern local self-government? Who? Very important. Father of modern local self-government or father of modern local self-governance. Right? Next, in 1883, so these years are very important here, at least here. To give effect to equality before law, very important, underline this. To give effect to equality before law, and rule of law. Who worked for this? Who worked for this? Equality before law and rule of law. I already discussed this. Macaulay, he introduced this concept, but the Lord Ripon in 1883 to give effect to equality before law and rule of law of the Lord Macaulay, the Lord Ripon, he introduced Ilbert Bill, very important. Ilbert Bill, famous as Equality Bill. He introduced Ilbert Bill. This is also called as Equality Bill. ILBRT. Ilbert Bill. When the bill was passed with the amendment on next year in 1884. Amendment on next year in 1884. It was the revolutionary kind of thing, and it marked the beginning of the India's national movement. Yes or no? It was the revolutionary or not? Ilbert Bill. It talks about two things: equality before law and rule of law. So it marked the beginning of the India's national movement. So without this bill, you can't introduce this concept. So while discussing in 10 marker of your mains answer, you must introduce Ilbert Bill in your introduction. Or this also called as Equality Bill. And who was the person behind this? Lord Ripon. And the concept person founded by, who was the founder? Macaulay, right. The pre-Congress political organizations were they got motivated with this Ilbert Bill, and they are also equally responsible for the political consciousness of that country, of that time. They are also equally responsible for political consciousness. This is a very important word. They are also equally responsible for political consciousness of the country of that time. So why political consciousness is necessary for any country? To come out from colony, to come out from somebody else's control, to have a sovereignty, right? So this political consciousness, how did this kind of concept enter into that freedom strugglers, their mind, freedom fighters' mind, through this Ilbert Bill? Like this. You can introduce this Ilbert Bill, you can introduce your answer with this Ilbert Bill. You can introduce your main answer with this Ilbert Bill. So very, very important, put a star mark. And very real life, introduction use ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಹೀಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೀರಿ, ತುಳುವಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀರಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀರಿ, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, 5 ವರ್ಷ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ದು 2ನೇ 3ನೇ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. So let us discuss some of the pre-Congress political parties. The first one, the Bengal. No need to say 1, 2, 3, 4. And story tarne ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. First one, the Bengal Landholders Society. Landholder, the Bengal. I introduced the pre-Congress political parties, right? So let us discuss what are the pre-Congress political parties. This may be a prelims question. The Bengal Landholders Society, which was founded by Dwaraknath Tagore in 1830 in Calcutta, was the first political party in modern India. Very important. Which was the first political party of the modern India? The Bengal's Landholders Society. Next, in March 1852, the Bombay Native Association, this was started. The Bombay Native Association, which was started, which was the first political party in Bombay Presidency. which was founded by Jagannath Shankar Seth. Jagannath Shankar Seth. This is the first political party in Bombay Presidency. Next, in 1852, Madras Native Association was formed. So that is the first political party of Madras Presidency. So these are important for prelims. 1852, Madras Native Association. So these first, something which is first, which is very important for examination point of view. So the first political party of the Bombay Presidency was the first political party of the Madras Presidency, the first political party of the Bengal Presidency. So overall, which is the first political party in India before Congress? Huh? Bengal, the Landholder Society. So which presidency which introduced the political parties to India? First political party to India? Bengal Presidency. I am asking about presidency. Right? Next. In 1866, Dadabhai Naoroji, he founded, 1866, Dadabhai Naoroji, he founded East India Association. Where he founded? East India Association. You may get shocked, this is in London. This is another political party of India. He founded it in London. East India Association. Who founded? When? In 1867, Mary Carpenter founded National Indian Association in London. So look at this. East India Association is different from National Indian Association. National Indian Association of London. So who is this Mary Carpenter? Who wrote the biography of Raja Ram Mohan Rai? That person, right? So you can write that. This may be a prelims question. Who wrote the biography of Raja Ram Mohan Rai? Right? Put an arrow mark and write. Mary Carpenter founded National Indian Association in London. Yes. See, that is the external force. Support from the foreign factor. The elite section of the Indians, they settle in the London for education or some other, other reasons. So they unite together against the same established government of United Kingdom. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅವರೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕಾಲೋನಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಲಂಡನ್ ಅವರೇ. ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಯುಕೆ. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ? ಲಂಡನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಯುನೈಟ್ ಆದ್ರಲ್ವ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿನ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಇನ್ 1870 ಪೂನಾ ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕ ಸಭಾ, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, which was founded by M.J. Ranade and G.V. Joshi. Very important. Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, M.J. Ranade and G.V. Joshi. These are very important for prelims. Okay. Next, in 1872, the Indian Society was founded. Anand Mohan Bose in Calcutta. Anand Mohan Bose. So what is the party name? Indian Society. Who founded? Anand Mohan Bose in Calcutta. It became Indian Association. The name was changed to Indian Association under Surendranath Banerjee in 1876. Under Surendranath Banerjee in 1876. So Indian Society under Anand Mohan Bose. So that was changed to Indian Association under Surendranath Banerjee in 1876. Clear? It was the most democratic party, most democratic political party within Congress, or before Congress. most democratic political party before Congress. Have a full stop and listen. We can be call any country as a democratic. So what is this democratic political party? How you can judge a political party or how you can link the political party to a democracy?
Elections.
Election means political party and what is the very good. So this is not something related to Indian democracy or country democracy. This is internal party democracy. Within political party, if there is something which is open for everybody, the debate and discussion is existent, then we call that political party as a internally democratic political party. So even today, new politicians press statement ಕೊಡ್ತಾ our political party is internal democratic political party ಅಂತ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ನವರು ತುಂಬಾ ಒತ್ತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇದನ್ನ. Our political party is internal democratic political party ಅಂತ. That means what? ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬರು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. Our decision is taken by everybody's will. After asking everybody, after asking each and every members of that political party. So internal democracy is well existed ಅಂತ Chief Minister ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, our Chief Minister Karnataka. So what is this? Before Congress, this was the political party which was existed with highest internal democracy. So this internal democracy is a new word which I am introducing today to you, and this is very important for further classes. So internal democracy, which I stated, this means this is something, the democracy within the political party. I will not again I am going to tell this internal democracy is related to political party. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. Internal democracy ಅಂದ್ರೆ political party ಒಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ say ಇದೆ. Everybody has some say of their own. That is internal democracy. Okay? Clear? Next. In 1884, Madras Mahajanasabha, which was founded by G.S. Iyer. Madras Mahajanasabha, which was founded by G.S. Iyer, A-Y-Y-E-R, Veera Raghvachari and P. Anandacharlu. Veera Raghvachari, P. Anandacharlu. Veera Raghvachari, P. Anandacharlu and G.S. Iyer. They both founded Madras Mahajanasabha in 1884. Next, in 1885, Bombay, in 1885, the Bombay Presidency Association, which was founded by Firoz Shah Mehta. Badruddin Tyabji and K.T. Telang. Firoz Shah Mehta, Badruddin Tyabji, T-Y-A-B-Z, Tyabji and K.T. Telang. In 1885, Bombay Presidents Association, which was founded by Firoz Shah Mehta, Badruddin Tyabji and K.T. Telang. Right? Next. So these are the political parties which is before INC. INC founded in 1885. Before INC also, there are some political parties existed, and these are the political parties. So the first political party of Bombay Presidency, Madras, India. Okay, and in 1885, INC which was founded in Bombay Presidency. Okay, so these are the political parties which is existed before Congress. And the journals also played tremendous role in the freedom struggle. So that time's journals, let us look into. So take somebody, the journals, or you can say the initial journals of the freedom struggle. So journalism, they played a commendable role, okay, in freedom struggle. Journalism, they played commendable role. Journalism or initial journalism of the freedom struggle, heading haki. So right, journalism which played commendable role in our freedom struggle. What is the first journal of India? ಯಾವ್ದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಹೇಳಿ? ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್? ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ದ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ಗೆಜೆಟ್. ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಜನರಲ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್. ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇಂದ ಜನರಲ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದೇ ಬುಕ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಇದೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್, ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತ, ದ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ಗೆಜೆಟ್. ಕೇಳಿಲ್ವಾ? ದ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ಗೆಜೆಟ್. Which was founded by James Augustus Hickey. JAMES, James Augustus, Augustes, Hickey, Hickey, James Augustus Hickey. This is the first journal in modern India which was founded in 1780 in Calcutta. The first journal in modern India which was founded in Calcutta on 1780. So from here you should not forget. Okay. So this is the first journal of India. Which is the first? The Bengal. The Bengal. Who founded? When? Where?
1870.
Okay, next, Rast Goftar, another journal. Rast Goftar, Rastgoftar, was the first journal in Marathi. This is the first journal in Marathi, which was founded by Dadabai in 1852. Sisir Kumar Ghosh, he founded Amrit Bazar Patrika. Very important for prelims, these things. Okay, journal mele question tumba sate bante. Sisir Kumar Ghosh, he founded Amrit Bazar Patrika. Sisir Kumar Ghosh, he founded Amrit Bazar Patrika in 1868. Ghosh, G-O-S-H, Ghosh. Girish Chandra Ghosh, G-O-S-H. Girish Chandra Ghosh, he founded Hindu Patriot. This is the journal name, Hindu Patriot, put it in double inverted comma, Hindu Patriot. Have you heard about Bangadarshan? Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, he founded Bangadarshan. Very important these things. Journal ಮೇಲೆ ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ very important ಅಂತ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸಬ್ ಹೆಡಿಂಗ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, the journals very important. Exam ದಿನ ಇದನ್ನೇ ಓದಬೇಕು ನೀವು. Last minute revision. Who founded what? This may be match the following question. Bangadarshan, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Bangadarshan. Tilak founded Kesari in Maratha. I guess you heard about this. So which is in English and which is in Marathi? Kesari in Marathi and Maratha in English. Exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಉಲ್ಟಾ. Tilak founded Kesari and Maratha in English and Marathi. The statement is wrong. Because the flow only Kesari and Maratha. So English and Marathi. So Marathi and Maratha are the same aಗುತ್ತೆ. So that is wrong answer. So Marathi in English, Maratha in English, right? Kesari in Marathi. Very important. One by one ಬರೀತಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಬರೀತಿದ್ರಿ? One by one because very important. And this Kesari and Maratha which was edited by Kelkar, a person called Kelkar, K-E-L-K-A-R. Kelkar. G.S. Iyer and Veera Raghvachari, they founded a newspaper. Iyer and Veera Raghvachari, which every UPSC aspirant is reading now at even today. The Hindu. So who founded? Since ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈಲಿ ದಾಯಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಲಿ ನೀವೇ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವೇ ನೋಡಿ ಬನ್ನಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಓಕೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೋಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರತಿ ಪೇಪರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿದೆಯಾ ರೈಟ್ J.S. Iyer, he himself also founded Swadeshi Mitran, MITRAN. Poland, sir. Swadeshi Mitran. J.S. Iyer. J.S. Iyer and Veera Raghavachari, they combined together and they founded The Hindu newspaper. Mitran, enough. Okay. So from the beginning, just revise quick revision in 30 seconds. Which journal who founded? Which journal who founded? Within 30 seconds. Say it loudly. Everybody in unanimous sound. Unanimously start. Pause. ಒಂದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಪಾಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ. Next. Okay, we discussed the pre-Congress political parties and we discussed some of the journals which is very important for your examination point of view and which inspired the freedom struggle. That is also we discussed it. And from here the formation of the Congress and everything for moderates, extremists, revolutionaries, these are the things. So take heading formation of the Congress as a heading. So what is Congress? What is Congress? Very good. Anybody? Very good. It's a group of people, or not just a group. It's a congregation of the group of people. Means what is Congress? Union, right? This is the word meaning of the Congress. And anything? So who founded Congress and who was the general secretary and who was the president when which was formed and who gave the name for the Congress? What? ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದೇ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಫೌಂಡರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ What you know about Congress and its formation? Please share with me within 30 seconds. Okay. ಯಾರು? Okay. Okay. See, founder ಬೇರೆ, founding president ಬೇರೆನಾ? Okay. See, here UPC play. Founder and founding president was different. And founder, he was the general secretary but not the president. Above him, he founded. He was the founding father of INC. But he was not the founding president. He was the founding general secretary. So who was the president? And who gave the name as a Congress and their name put it? Anybody? Gandhiji? Gandhiji picture ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಏನು ಬ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಏನೋ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ 1885 ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ 1915 ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು 1885 to 1950 30 years gap. Gandhiji was a child when it was started, INC was started. So tell me. No. There are future politicians. Initially, the moderates, Dadabhai Naoroji, he gave a name Congress. So who gave a name Congress? Dadabhai Naoroji. Anything else, WC, Banerjee. Anything else you know about Congress? Okay, write it in your own words, whatever we discussed. General Secretary. Yavogim was the General Secretary, but not the President. So who was the President? W.C. Banerjee. And who gave a party name? Indian National Congress, Dadabhai Naoroji. These are very important. Write something. In 1885, at the instance of A.O. Hume, at the instance of A.O. Hume, 72 delegates within bracket, right? Elites. 72 delegates from different parts of the country. And most of them are already a political party members, the pre-Congress political party, what we discussed now. Listen, the pre-Congress political party, what we discussed now. 72 delegates are the already members of this pre-political party. So they are not fresh faces, already they are the politicians. So they united together. 72 delegates of the different political parties. You can write like this. 72 delegates of the different political parties, they united together and they formed a Congress under the direction of A.O. Hume, or under the presidency, or you can say under the instance of A.O. Hume. Okay. So where they met? Sir Tejpal Sanskrit College. They met at these delegations. They met at Sir Tejpal Sanskrit College in Bombay. So this is a just 2 to 3 days of Congress, 2 to 3 days of meeting on December 29, 30, 31. They met 3 days. 28. It started from 28, December 28 to 31. Okay, December 28, 31. So at the end of the 1885, right? So they met. The Indian National Congress, the name which was given by Dadabhai Naoroji, right? And A.O. Hume, he became a general secretary, and president was W.C. Banerjee. This is the important facts regarding formation of the Congress. So when it was formed, it faced some criticism. Not as a political party, but it faced criticism not for political party, but for this general secretary. Lala Lajpat Rai and Lala Hansraj, they are the biggest critics of this A.O. Hume. These are inner politics. Lala Lajpat Rai and Lala Hansraj, they are the biggest critics of A.O. Hume. You must know this. There is a theory called safety wall theory. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ವಾಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ವಾಲ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೈಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ವಾಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಯಾರು ಒಳಗೆ ಬಿಡಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀರು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಿಡಬಾರದು. And that was the thing which A.O. Hume did. Because of that, see, this safety wall theory is also one of the critique of Congress. Safety wall theory, very important. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಡಿ. So this is not there in your syllabus, but this one, Lala Hansraj and the initial thing, Lala Lajpat Rai, they criticized this A.O. Hume when it was formed, right? So what about English? And who was the General Secretary? Who was the Governor General when it was formed? 1883 Governor General. No. Have you heard this Lord Dufferin? Okay, moving on. When INC was formed, the Britishers, they accepted this INC and they welcomed its formation. Okay, so these are things let us discuss later. When they asked for Swaraj kind of concepts, they started to criticize this concept. Criticize this party. When it was founded, they accepted with open-heartedly. Okay. So if the statement is like from the beginning, Britishers, they started criticizing this INC. No. When it was founded, they accepted. Initially, when they started to, in second session, I guess, in the second session, they started to ask something from the government. Then later, they started to criticize. Initially, they accepted with open-heartedly, right? take heading age of moderates. So age of moderates from where to where? Fill in the delivering. Age of moderates from where to where? My question is, during this time, this concept existed or not? During this period, this concept existed or not? No. Because of our convenience, we made this. This is the first thing you should be very clear. Okay? See, what is this moderates? Moderates means what?
ಅವ್ರು ಕಾಣಿ ಪತ್ರ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್
They are the freedom fighters. They are the freedom fighters, first of all. They are Indians, first of all. These are the group of Indians. And they are the members of INC. They are the Indians and they are the members of INC. I told you, 72 delegates. I did not told 72 peasants, 72 agri laborers, or 72 last mile people. I said 72 delegates within bracket elites. So who is this moderates? They are all Congress. Most of them are from the Congress and all are Congress at the time. So who is this moderates? Very sophisticated elite section of the society. And what is their thought, school of thought regarding British and regarding Indian concept? ಏನು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಕತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್
ಅವರು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ನಮಗೆ
ಓಕೆ ಪೆಟಿಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಓಕೆ ಓವರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
ಮತ್ತೆ ದಾಖಲಾತಿ ಮನೋರಜಿ ಅವರು ಈ ಟೈಮ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಂತನ್ನ
ಓಕೆ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
ಮತ್ತೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅವರಿಗೆ
they had a friendly relation with the Britishers. Why?
ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇವರು ವೆಲ್ಫೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ
They misunderstood the Britishers. Can you say like that? Do they thought like the development of the England is the development of India? Yes or no?
ಅಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸತ್ಯಾಗಿ ಬರೀತಾರೆ
That is one person. Rest of them.
ಅದೇ
And you know this complementary and contradictory theory. The development of the UK, England, is the development of India. So is this contradictory or complementary?
ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್
The development of England is the development of India. Is this complementary or contradictory? Parallel or something against? Idu development, idu development.
ನೋ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್
No. If this was the case, what is this? Complementary, parallel. So when development of the England is not the development of India, this concept is contradictory. So they followed which kind of concept? Contradictory or complementary?
ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್
Complementary. Okay. Next. Yes, complementary is the right answer. Next, anything you know about moderates? They thought England development is the Indian development. Next. They wished the British's presence in India because of that. Next. Anything else you know about moderates? What is meaningful legislation or meaningful governance or good governance? What is this? Meaningful legislation means what? After Indian Council Act, the Indians are allowed for council entry. Yes or no? Then also they are barred from asking questions. They are barred from putting votes. They are barred from debates and discussion and presenting Indian opinion in the parliament. Is this a meaningful legislation? No. They asked meaningful legislation. So what do you know about the moderates? Only this much? Here another thing. Write something. The Congress Congress, since its inception, so look at this answer. The Congress, since its inception, let us begin. Okay, the Congress, since its inception, it was dominated by educated middle class, the land aristocracies. It was dominated by educated middle class and the dominant aristocracies. That means what? This is not in a poor fellows group. This is the dominant aristocracies group. Educated middle class groups, they are the elites.
Dominant?
Okay? And this is the group of capitalist class. This is the group of capitalist class. Class, not caste. Class. Capitalist class. So what is this capitalist?
Investors.
Bandawala Shahi. That is capitalist. Western kind of things. Western politicians, most of them are the capitalists. Here in India, from different backgrounds, right? While discussing social issues, again I will come to this. You know, the Trump, the then president, he is the capitalist elite. Here that is not the case. And there, the capitalism and industrialists, the capitalist and industrialist. What is the difference between industrialist and entrepreneur or this capitalist? What is the difference between entrepreneur or industrialist and industrialist and entrepreneur or industrialist and capitalist? Tata ಅವರಿಗೂ ಅಂಬಾನಿಗೂ ಏನು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು.
ಅವ್ರು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್.
That's it. They produce. Who produce? Industries. Here, service most of the times. That is not producing something. But in industries, they will produce something. That is the secondary sector. This is tertiary and quaternary sector. Reliance is secondary and tertiary quaternary. Not secondary, tertiary and quaternary. But here, Tatas are the secondary sector. Economics ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Okay. So, ಏನು ಬರ್ತೀವಿ? Capitalist class. The section formed majority of the Congress. This is the section which formed the majority of this Congress. So what is their ideology then? The British colonialism and Indian nationalism, underline this. The British colonialism and Indian nationalism were not contradictory. Very important. The British colonialism, right? The British colonialism and Indian nationalism were not contradictory. This is the ideology of the moderates. Were not contradictory. Underline that not word. Rather, it is complementary. Complementary means what? Like this. So this is not right. This is yes according to moderates. British colonialism and India's nationalism is not contradictory. But it is complementary according to moderates. How many of you understood this concept? Everybody? So if at all anybody did not understood this is something. Colonialism means what? British, they acquired us in all its forms. Right? What is the definition of colonialism and everything we discussed. So their presence in India is for the benefit of India also. Their presence in India is also a reason for the development of India. And their presence, and because of that, the England's growth. Their presence in India, because of that, England's growth is also growth of the India. When England grows, its colony also grows. When England grows, the colony also grows. This is this concept. Sorry, this is this concept, parallel. So colonialism is equal to nationalism. Means what is Indian nationalism? Something which is good for the India. So colonialism is good for the India. Without Britishers' presence, this is the social level country. We are not able to develop. Because they are the forward section peoples. They are the liberals. They are the growth oriented peoples. We ourselves are the backward looking traditional ones, conservative ones. So their presence is the need of the hour. This is the concept of the moderates. So India's nationalism and the British colonialism is not contradictory, it is a complementary thing according to moderate section of the freedom struggle. While discussing the drawbacks of this moderate, this is the first drawbacks. They misunderstood the concept. They thought the British growth is the India's growth. That is not the case, because initially they failed to understood what is this colonialism, and they failed to understood this is not the growth of the England is not a growth of India. They failed to understood. This is the thing. Have this in your notes, in your own words. ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೊಂದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀರಿದ್ದು ಎವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟರ್ ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೋದು. Moderates answer ಬರೀ. Look like a maths, but it is history, right? ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದು ಯಾಕೆ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವ್ರು ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಇದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Fourth, right? These moderates they thought British were invisible. They thought British were invisible. Invisible means what? That means they are superpower. We not able to touch them. We not able to defeat them through force. They are the invisible. They already accepted, and there is no question on that. Their invisibility. There is their strength. They accepted that they are super duper powerful. As such, a policy of cooperation with whom? Britishers. A policy of cooperation, underline this. As such, a policy of cooperation, India could better secure her interest. This is the ideology of the moderates. So let us cooperate with them. As policy of cooperation, India could secure better thing herself, or India could better secure her interest. Her interest. So what kind of parliament or what kind of government is there in England? Parliamentary or another one? Presidential form of government. What is the difference between parliamentary form of government and presidential form of government? UK following which kind of government? Parliamentary. USA? Both are democracy. Both are democracy, but the government is different. India following, even though we have a president, we are following parliamentary form of government. So UK and India parliamentary form of government, right? So what is this parliamentary form of government? How it differs from presidential form of government? Real democracy can be get to see in which kind of government? So what is the meaning of democracy? Drag it. Every citizen had some say in legislation. That is democracy, real meaning. So which kind of government will represent this kind of concept of democracy? Parliamentary. Here, presidential form of the government, president he himself whole and sole leader. So he can overrule the parliament. President can overrule the parliament, and he can take any decision whatever comes to his own mind. And there is no need of asking this parliament which is existing, or no need of asking his cabinet ministers too, right? So that is not the case with the parliamentary form of government. Here, what is the thing? How legislation happens? Any bill starts from the parliament, then enters to presidential house. Yes or no? Except direct president house. ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪೊಲಿಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮರ್ತೋಗಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಆರ್ಡಿನೆನ್ಸ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ರೈಟ್. ಸುಗ್ರೀವಾಜ್ಞೆ, ಸರ್ ನೋ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಏನ್ ಬರೆದ್ರಿ? The policy of cooperation India could secure her better interest, and England, the mother of parliamentary institution. England, she is the mother of parliamentary institutions. She, that is the art of answer writing. She is the mother of parliamentary institution. Would encourage the same in India. See, look at these moderates. Why they respected England? Why they respected Britishers? Because they are following the parliamentary form of democracy. They are following parliamentary form of the government. So they can secure the same thing in India. That is their concept. ಅವರು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So that is, everyone has their say in that kind of government. So why should we criticize them? Let us rule India. This is the concept, right? The same in India. And therefore, Indian should remain loyal to British. Underline this. This is the moderates' ideology. Indian, because of that, Indian should remain loyal to British. So in the statement, they are the big criticizers of the Britishers' presence in India. If that was the statement is false. Because they insisted that Indian should be loyal to this British. Why? They are following the British parliamentary form of government in England, and they will secure the same thing in India. So that parliamentary form of government, they are the mother. England is the mother of that parliamentary form of government. So India is the colony of the England. So they also follow the same here. So let us be loyal to them. Let us not fight against them. Look at me, not listen. Okay, this is the thing. Clear? Next. The moderates' method of struggle was defined as, this is very important, was defined as constitutional means of agitation. What is this constitutional means of agitation? The moderates' method of struggle we defined as a constitutional means of agitation. So what is constitutional means of agitation? Through legislation. Every action through legislation. Every action through legislation means what? Let us not violate law. Their action ends at breaking the legislation. Listen. Their action ends at breaking the legislation. Their action ends at breaking the laws. Exactly opposite to revolutionaries. The revolutionaries' action starts at the breaking the law. Right? So what is this constitutional means of agitation? Yes, we are doing agitation, we are criticizing a little bit, but not something outside the law, within law. Let us respect their legislation, and within law, let us secure our interest. This is their kind of ideology, right? See, by saying this, I said so many things. If independence, the moderates, they insisted for popular means of agitation. This was the statement. The statement is yes or no. Popular means of agitation means ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಒಟ್ಟಾಕೊಂಡು ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಜಗಳ ಮಾಡೋದು. Mass movement. No, because 102 delegates, they are the members. Sedition. So this sedition, popular means of agitation, mass movement, these are something which is far away from these moderates, right? In your own words. Very important. Here I am expecting question in future. Very, very, very important. ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸು, ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇನು, ಅವ್ರ ಕತೆ ಏನು, ಅದೇ ಪೆಟಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್, ಅದು ಯಾವುದು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಈ ತರ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಎಸ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ದೆನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರಾಂಗ್. ಥಿನ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. They insist on what sedition means, that is absolutely wrong. Deshadroha, sedition means something going against law. Their main ideology is constitutional means of agitation. What is Naxalism? What is urban Naxals anta irtare, well educated. So existing government ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಅರ್ಬನ್ ನಕ್ಸಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೆಲವು ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಡಿಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಸೆಡಿಷನ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆಲ್ಲ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಸರ್ ನೋ. ಸೊ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಡಿಷನ್, large mass movement, this is not related to moderates. Hope you clear. It was well explained by Gokhale. Gokhale moderate or not? Moderate. Well explained by Gokhale in his journal Sudhar. Sudhar. It also called as method of 3P. In his journal, he called our moderates method was 3P method. What is this 3P? Prayer. Let us pray in front of the Britishers for our own rights. Next, petition. Let us give petition. Now our petition code. Why? For our own things. And if at all they did not agree for our prayer or petition, let us protest. So this protest, prayer, petition, protest, these 3 P's are the ideology of the moderates. Very important. ಯಾರು moderates admit ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, yes we are like this only ಅಂತ, under Sudhar, Gokhale himself was the moderate. Or accept ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. We have 3 P's. Petition, first prayer. We will pray in front of the Britishers. Kodi. And if not that, we will give letter. ನೀವು ಲೀವ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ, ಬರ್ದು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ಬರ್ದು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. And ನೀವು ಅದು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, protest. This is the thing. There is no mass agitation. There is no conspiracy. There is no pre-plan, right? There is no something homework, nothing.
Sir, but the Gandhiji is.
And where I told Gandhiji was a moderator? Where? Master, look at him. He himself was the master. Where? Gokhale. Same point.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಗಾಂಧಿನ 3 pieces ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು
ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅವರ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅವ್ರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇಂಟರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಯಾವ ತರ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿ. ನಾನು ಗಾಂಧಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ, 1915 ಇಂದ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೈಟ್, ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಓನ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಟೇಕ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ moderates. So we already discussed the demands. Tell me, what are the demands of the moderates? Some of the demands we discussed. Demands of moderates. Tell me the demands. What are the demands in front of the Britishers? The first thing, expansion of the council or not. Indian members, just imagine. The expansion of the council, right? I'll again not go to dictation and all. Just right now itself. The expansion of the legislation is their first demand. Expansion of the legislation means what? Legislative council means what? Take Indians into your council. Anyhow, in the executive council you are not taking. At least in the legislative council you can take. You must take. This is their petition, right? This is their prayer. And for this they did some protest. And what kind of representation it should be? It should be meaningful representation, not like namesake representation. What is this meaningful and namesake? By sitting and drinking tea and going, that is not meaningful representation. Meaningful representation means what? There must be some space for Indian representative to put Indian things in front of the Britishers. Debate and discussion and vote. Right? They should consider Indians' votes. That is meaningful representation, and that is the demand for moderates. This is a 10-marker question, the demands of moderates. Already UPSC has so many times, very important. And another thing, their main demand was separation of executive from the judiciary. This is also there in our TPSP. Right? Separation of the executive from judiciary. What is the need of this? Separation of executive from the judiciary. What is this? executives and judiciary.
Judiciary.
See, who are executives in India today?
Civil service.
Only
Office.
Siddharamaiah is executive or not? Rest of the ministers of the executives are not. Narendra Modi and cabinet ministers, deputy ministers, minister for states. Here, minister for states, the madam, she is it. And here the state government chief minister, his cabinet ministers, deputy ministers, and governor, president. So only not IAS officers. They are all executives. What is the separation of judiciary from the executive?
Judiciary got corrupt and
Exactly. Today, in the Hindu and some other book, some other papers, right after any important landmark judgments, in editorial page, not in the print page, in editorial page, some of the non-satisfied fellows, they will write something, right? Judiciary was overruled by these politicians. Judiciary is under the hold of the central government. Judiciary is under the hold of the Parliament of India. Judiciary is under the hold of the cabinet ministers or Prime Minister of India. That means what? There is no separation of the executive and judiciary. Executive means what? Prime Minister and his cabinet? Yes or no? The established government is the executives. And when this established government it holds judiciary means what? Always judiciary going to give a judgment which is very helpful and which is very, which is aligned towards the central government. When the case was against the central government, definitely when there was no separation of the powers, the always case helps to the central government, always case turns towards the central government. It favors the central government or not? Are you listening or not? See, why separation of the judiciary from the executive is necessary? Now, even in current example, I am linking there. Why it is necessary? Okay, talk about that thing. Who are these executives? All ICS officers, all Governor General and Governor General are the presidents, and the different officials of the government. They are all executives. When they had a control over the judiciary, what happens? And what is the petitions? Most of the petitions against the government only from the Indians. So what is the kind of judgment you will expect when they are united together? Favors to the existing government. So there should be separation of the government, separation of the judiciary from the executive. That is their another demand. So this is the thing. So ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಲಿಸಲು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Next. This is something executive and judiciary. And within executive there are some academics executive, right? The officials, the civil servants. So for civil servants also, there must be a huge number of Indians. This is another demand. So how it would be possible?
Exam
ಏಜ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋದು, ರೈಟ್?
21 to 19.
ಎಸ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಏಜ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಆಸ್ಪಿರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. Increasing here there are two petitions, okay? Increasing the age limit and as well as simultaneous election both in England and India. At that time there was no election, examination in India, so there should be simultaneous election. Only foreigners, if they want, they can write. India dallu mattond election, examination agbeku. Only Indians avaru barili anta. It is open for everybody, right? England aspirants and India aspirants. So the civil service examination should be transparent and open, and it should be accessible for even Indians. So there should be simultaneous election both in England as well as India for the same time, as well as you should decrease the upper age limit. Yes or no? You should increase the upper age limit, right? Why? Look at the forward England and backward India. The students of the forward England and the backward India, they are fighting and they are writing the same examination, same question paper. So what you will expect? These Indians, after they become 20, then they will look after this UPSC or this ICS exam or something. After becoming 20, so there from the primary they will focus on this kind of competitive exam. So which would be better? If the upper age limit was less, if the upper age limit of is, the chances of getting clear of England students or Indian students is more
Indian students ಕಡಿಮೆ.
ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಏಜ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಬರೀತಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ ದಟ್ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅವಾಗ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಂತ. ಈವನ್ ದೋ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಬ್ರೈಟ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, they are bright to the extent of clearing this exam, they are not able to write this exam just for the sake of the exam was conducted in London. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 21 ವರ್ಷನೇ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 21 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಮಗನ ಹೊರಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಲಂಡನ್ಗೆ ಕಳಿಸೋದು ಹೇಗೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಏಜ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಮುಗಿದಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್? You must increase the age limit. That is another demand of the British. I mean, moderates to the Britishers. Hope you are getting.
Yes, sir.
Next, the reduction of the taxes. 50%, right, sir? 50% reduction in the rent, export duties, military expenditures should be done. Export duties, military expenditures, 50% reduction in the duties, rent and military expenditures. This is another petition, another prayer, or another demand of the moderates. Right? Reduction, military expenditure, Indian pool ಇಂದನೇ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಿ. This is another thing because ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ huge ಇತ್ತು. Right? And right that also when INC was formed, this formed by these fellows, the Britishers accepted this, welcomed this right there itself. And at that time, the Governor General was Lord Dufferin. See, always have this D capital. Lord Dufferin, who was the Governor General when INC was formed, he accepted or he welcomed the formation of INC. He welcomed the formation of the ANC. Secretary for the State of India at that time, Lord Goss, GOSS. Lord Goss. Right after 1857 war, from 1858, there is a new post in the Parliament of the England called Secretary for the State of India. At that time, that post was held by the Lord Goss, and he was Secretary for the State of India, and he was the Governor General come Viceroy. He was the Governor General come Viceroy. So they are accepted and welcomed the formation of the ANC when it was formed. So this government or these Britishers, the Secretary for the State of India, the Governor General, they criticize the formation of the ANC is wrong statement. They welcome the formation of the ANC, right? So take heading moderate politics. ಸೊ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ಪಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್. The relation between these moderates, don't write and listen. The relation between these moderates and the Britishers are cooperative till the time of the second session of the ANC. Or till the time of the questioning, if prayer was started, they are very happy. The cooperation was very good. They are the good friends, these moderates and the Britishers. So when this cooperation or when this friendship becomes strained, the friendship when these Indians they started to question the Britishers in different spheres, right? So that is very important. Before they are very good friends, and one point of time the friendship become very strained. What are the friendship path? So that is moderate politics. Take heading moderate politics and write something. The relation between moderates and the Britishers becomes strained. S-A-R-E-A-N-D. That means forceful. Becomes strained for the first time in Madras session of Congress in 1887. Madras session of 1887. See, this is the first session which was presided by Muslim member of ANC, Badruddin Tyabji. He presided over this 1887 session of Madras. Here the relationship becomes strained is because some of the words of the moderates. The word is like self-governance. What does it mean?
ನಮ್ಮ ನಾವೇ
Alkolthivi. You Britishers get lost. We not need you. So self-governance, when they introduce this kind of concept, self-governance kind of concept, in the session of Madras Presidency or in the session of Madras in 1887, that was presided by a Muslim fellow, Badruddin Tyabji. So when INC introduced the concept of self-governance, the relationship becomes strained. Till the time the relationship was very good between the moderates and extremists. So after that, you first ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ವಾ ಅವರೇ ದೇ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತಂದರು ಏನು, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿಸ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಾಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಟಿಲ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ 1887 ದೇ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಗುಡ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್. And the Governor General Lord Dufferin, he criticized the Congress for the first time, and he told this Congress is just a microscopic minority. This is not a large political party. This is the statement of the Lord Dufferin. Microscopic minority. What does it mean?
ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇದು ಏನು ಅಲ್ಲ.
That is one thing, and it had a lot many meaning. The one meaning is in front of us, this is just a microscope. Another meaning is you are not a representative of this big India. You are just a microscope. You are just this. You are not. You are the elite sections. You are not just a representative. You are the minority. A microscopic minority. And another thing is in front of us, you are nothing. And another thing is your view. Your group is there, no? In the name of INC, your view is something microscopic view. ನಿಮಗೆ ಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಓವರ್ ವಿವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಲಾಂಗ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಫ್ಯೂಚರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ವಿವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫ್ಯೂಚರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ವಿವೇ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಗವರ್ನೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೇ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನೀವು ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಡಫರಿನ್. Microscopic minority. In 1888, Allahabad session of the Congress, who was the presider? ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಯಾರು ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಆ ಸೆಷನ್? ಜಾರ್ಜ್ ಯೂಲೆ. ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ? ಜಾರ್ಜ್ ಯೂಲೆ. 1888 Allahabad session of the Congress. Allahabad session of the Congress, 1888. George Ewell. Okay, he presided, and this is the first Englishman who presided INC. This is the Englishman. He was the first Englishman to preside INC. This is a very important for prelims. Keltar. Okay, here. Take heading like achievements of these moderates. Prelims fact. Achievements. So you know these moderates now. Tell me their achievements. What is their first demand? To increase the Indian legislation and their representation. And within civil service also, you must increase the age limit, and you must examination in India, right? So for this, Lord Dufferin, he founded a committee called Education Committee at that time. That is the first successful. Don't write. I'll dictate. Don't worry. And tell me, and just think, what are the other success of the moderates, other achievements of the moderates? Council entry next. So 1892 Indian Council Act, that and all, which was passed for the entry of the Indians in the council, that was legislative council only. 1892 Indian Council Acts. Next. What are the other things, achievements, can be considered as the achievement of these moderates? Anyhow, this economic criticism, drain of wealth kind of concept, Dadabhai Naoroji, moderate. Next. At least they started protest also against the Britishers, right? This is the thing. And the other success. Some of the legislators, yes, no.
ಅವರು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್.
Okay, how it would be positive for India?
ಆಗ ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
Request, through request. Okay. Okay. And some of the legislation related to local government, some of the legislation related to education, that was passed during this 1885 to 1905. That is the success of the moderates. Right? And what else? Okay, right.
ಅದು judiciary separation.
Happened, is this?
That is
If that was happened, then only that is, we can be considered as a success. Right. On the request of the moderates on 1886, the Lord Dufferin appointed
80.
86 Atkinson Committee the Lord Dufferin appointed Atkinson Committee to look after the concept of Indian civil services. They look after the issues of the Indian civil services. What is the issues? Conducting examinations simultaneously, increasing the age. These are the prayers, right? So, ಏನೋ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಡ್ಕೇಸನ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಡಫರಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆನ್ 1886. Yes, Atkinson was the chief, so because of that Atkinson committee, and they decided that 22 years should be the maximum. 22 years was the maximum age, not 21. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ 21 is not 22 ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. They increased the age. This is recommendation ಅಷ್ಟೇ. They recommended that 22 should be the maximum age. So they increased the maximum age to 22. In 1892, Indian Council Act was passed. Yes or no? In polity we discussed Indian Council Act. For what? That is another petition. You should expand the legislative council and include the Indians. Right? They included some of the Indians. Another petition is also there. What is another petition? Look at here. What is another petition? No. Within the legislation entry also. That means what kind of legislation? Meaningful legislation or meaningful presence. So that is not implemented, but they open the Indians. They open door for the Indians. Right? This is the thing. They open the door for the Indians. On the request of these moderates. Another thing, Calcutta University Act was passed. The Calcutta University Act was passed on 1904. Which benefited the education of Indians. And the same year, 1904, very important because some of these legislation has happened. Calcutta University Act was passed on 1904, which would benefit the Indian youths for education. In the same year, Calcutta Municipal Corporation Act was passed. Calcutta Municipal Corporation Act was passed. That would benefit the municipality or that would benefit the autonomy of the local bodies. That act would benefit the autonomy of the local bodies. That is another success you can say. Autonomy of the local bodies. Because most of the time these local bodies was represented by the Indians. See, again this was revoked by when Lord Curzon became a Governor General. He revoked these both the law. 1904, the Indian Calcutta University Act and Municipal Corporation Act. The both the act which was legislated on 1904 was revoked by Curzon. That is different. But we can consider as this is the success of the moderates. Because once at the banditalva, because this was revoked by Papas banned by Tekondru Yaru Lord Curzon. That is it. So what is the most important achievement of the moderates among government achievements? What is the most important achievement? Successful. See, now ಇದನ್ನ achievement ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, but it was revoked by later Curzon. And now ಇನ್ನೊಂದು legislative assembly entry ಅನ್ನ success ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, but that is not a meaningful legislation. Yes or no? What is the real success of the moderates? Council Act ಹೇಗೆ real success? That is not a meaningful legislation. So what? That is 1 year. 1 year difference ಏನು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. That is not the case. On that time prelims fail ಆದರೆ done. ನೋ 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 ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏಜ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್? ಸೊ ನೋ 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 ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಈ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಹಾಕಿದ್ರು when Curzon came to power.
ಕಲ್ಕತ್ತಾ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ.
ಅರೆ ಯಾರು ಈ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. when Curzon become a governor general ಈ ಆಕ್ಟೇ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್.
ನೋ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ದ ಡ್ರೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ವೆಲ್ತ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್, ದ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸಿಸಮ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರಿಯಲ್. ಸಿ ಅವರೇನೋ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಅವೇರ್. ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಅ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಬೇಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಜನರಲ್ಲ ಮೊದಲು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈವನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸಿಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ Dadabhai Naoroji and some of the moderates, so the people started to think, okay, something is happening, somebody is looting our own money. This kind of concept started. When in our last class we discussed it. Some of the fellows, they even gauged the thing, right? They calculated the amount of the drain which has happened, and somebody which they gave a theory for that drain of wealth, Naoroji. And these are the things when it become a matter of debate and discussion among the common public, they started to talk about this. Before that, there is no talk. Before that, there is no awareness that they are exploiting us. Before that, there is no awareness they are looting us. So drain of theory, drain of wealth concept, which was something which did not differentiate the Indians, differentiate the British things. Overall, no difference agilla. But in Indians, among Indians, it became a matter of debate, matter of concern. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಬಾವಿ ಕಟ್ಟೆ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಹೆಂಗಸ್ರು, ಹೋಟ್ಲ್ ಹತ್ರ ಗಂಡಸರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನೋ ನಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಳ್ಳೆ ಹೊಡಿತಿದಾರಂತೆ. ಸೊ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸಂಬಡಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಫೆಲೋಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸೀಡ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ಸೋ ದ ಸೀಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲೈಸೇಷನ್, ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು in your answer. Economic critics, that to drain of wealth. The most important achievements of moderates was the economic critic called drain theory. Drain of wealth theory. This is the important achievement of the moderates. Hope you clear. So why it is important? Because it exposed the exploitation nature of the Britishers. It exposed their intention of presence in India. It exposed their theory, it exposed their ideology, their thoughts regarding India. Before that, they are doing from the past, but Indians are not aware of it. So after this moderates books and all, after this moderates journals, after this moderates debates, open debates and open discussion regarding the drain of wealth, this become everybody's debate and this become everybody's talk, matter of talk, matter of discussion. So this is the biggest credits, biggest achievements of the moderates in freedom struggle. Right? So what is this drain of wealth? The wealth is draining from our country to British country, from our country to Europe. So this is a drain of wealth. Brain drain. What is brain drain? Our engineers, our doctors, our experts, they are working. They get education here, and they are working for the another country. That is drain of brain or brain drain. Drain of brain or brain drain. Here, the wealth was drained from here to there, like this. Okay. So this is the success and what is the failure. Now, what is the failure of the moderates? Where moderates fail? Quick.
By their creeds.
3 things ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದಿತ್ತ? That is the success here. Where they failed?
Misunderstanding.
Very good, very good. They misunderstood that. Complementary and contradictory. They thought this is complementary, but that is not the case. It is contradictory. The British colonialism and Indian nationalism is not, never ever complementary. It is contradictory only. The England's growth is not India's growth. India's growth only is the India's growth. They misunderstood British ideology of understanding that the colonial Our British colonialism, our British growth was the India's growth. They misunderstood. That is not the case. That is the biggest ever failure. And tell me, what is the another biggest ever failure? They restricted that, right? 72 delegates, they were together, they founded the Congress. 72 delegates. This is not an open mass movement. When Gandhiji, he entered INC and later the non-cooperation time, that is the mass movement started. Till the time of the moderates, till 1905, there is no concept of mass movement. ಯಾರು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು? ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್, ಒಂದು 50 ಜನ 100 ಜನ ಅವರು ಹೋಗಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಅಟೆಂಡರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೆದರಲ್ಲ. 50 ಜನ 100 ಜನ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಹೆದರ್ತಾರೆ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಎ ಎಲೈಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್. This is not just a mass movement. This is not just a mass agitation. This is some group of Indians, some few number group of Indians, 2-digit number group of Indians. So that is the another drawbacks, another failure of these moderates. What is another failure? ಏನು ಬರೆದ್ರಿ? ಬರ್ಸ್ಬೇಕಿದಲ್ಲ. It is a clash of interest. ಅದಲ್ಲ, right? They misunderstood this. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಸ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಬೇಡ, ನೀವೇ ಬರೀರಿ. And the another very important thing here is, this Vande Mataram movement. Vande Mataram movement. Bengal partition against Vande Mataram movement. So what is this Bengal partition? There is two school of thoughts regarding Bengal partition.
Unity
Practical reason, official reason, documentary reason, and political reason. There are two reasons behind two ways of reason. Don't write that is Vande Mataram. Here that is not the case. This is another drawback, sir. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, because partition happened in 1905. That is the negative or drawbacks of these moderates. What partition? How this partition and moderates linked at each other? In 1905, partition was happened. They let it to happen, right? That is the failure of the moderates. They let it to happen. That is the failure. Agak bitru. Partition agoke bitru. That is the negative effect. That is the failure of this word. And what is this partition and inner politics? Let us that everything we are going to study in Vande Mataram movement. But adan agak bitru alva. That is another failure of these moderates. Because partition is not happened through public will. Partition which has happened forcefully. Public will ಆಗಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ Bengal partition. ನಾನು ಈಗಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. What is the official reason and what is the practical reason behind the partition of Bengal?
Official reason ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅದು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂದೂ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್
ಹಿಂದೂ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ official reason ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Official reason is that is the biggest presidency, biggest thing, Bengal. So let us divide for the easy convenience of administration. That's it. For the easy convenience of the administration, they divided the Bengal. So what is the practical reason?
ಹಿಂದೂ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ ಯೂನಿಟಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದು
Hindu Muslim unity divide ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. And another thing, so how it would become Hindu Muslim division? Just by dividing Bangla, just by dividing Bengal.
ಎಲೆಕ್ಟರೇಟ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ಯಾವ ತರ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು? Eastern Bengal and Western Bengal. That's why even though it is present in the eastern side of India, we call it as Western Bengal, West Bengal.
ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರ ಹಿಂದೂಗಳ
Before where they are majority, after partition they themselves become minority in that region. Okay. Don't worry, we'll discuss Vande Mataram again. I'll come to this. This is the one practical reason, and another practical reason was divide these moderates or divide this INC, because they know they studied this INC before they taking this step. They studied INC. They want split in this INC. Britishers, they wanted split in this INC. INC ಹೇಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕು, because they experienced the threat from this INC. ಅವರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, they expected the threat, even though not now, but in the future definitely this going to be a threat for our presence in India. So let us divide the science. How can we divide the science? Let's hit the two mindsets. Yes, there are two mindsets within INC. One is this PPP mindset, another is revolutionary extremist kinds of mindset. So ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಕ್ಲಾಶ್ ತರಬೇಕು. ಹೇಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಶ್ ತರೋದು? ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಆ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಹೇಳೋಣ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡೋಣ ಅಂತೇಳಿ, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೋ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತೇಳಿ, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡೋಣ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡೋಣ ಆಲ್ ಓವರ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಇನ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕ್ವಶನಿಂಗ್, ದ ಆಂಟಿ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಷನ್ or against Bengal partition, the revolution or the movement against anti-partition of the Bengal. So the revolution, the movement against the partition of the Bengal, it should be within Bengal or it should be outside the Bengal. It should be within Bengal moderates view, it should be outside the Bengal extremists view. So within the INC there are two views. So to these two views they know before also existed within the INC, they know, Britishers know. So these two views to come to limelight, Britishers partition the Bengal. ಈ ಎರಡು ವ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ. ಎರಡು ವ್ಯೂ ಏನು? ಒಬ್ಬರು ಯೂತ್ಸ್, ಏನೋ ಬಿಸಿ ರಕ್ತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಯೂತ್ಸ್, ಅವರು ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಲ್ಡರ್ ಫೆಲೋಸ್. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಒಂದೇ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಹೇಗೆ? ನಾವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಾನು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಇದರಿಂದಾನೇ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ತರ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫೆಲೋಸ್ ದೇ ಕೇಮ್ ಔಟ್, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫೆಲೋಸ್ ದೇ ಕೇಮ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ moderate kind of mindset, and we named them as an extremists. They are not extremists, we named them as extremists. So this is the thing. So here just they led Bengal partition. They did not avoid this, and they did not even try to avoid this Bengal partition. They let it go. It went like a cakewalk. It happened like a cakewalk. So that is another failure of the moderates. So what is the biggest failure? Misunderstood. What misunderstood? They thought it is complementary, but it is definitely contradictory. And another failure. This is not a mass education, only some group. They restricted. Or Berlin antala, they only restricted. Because if they get some power means they have to share that power to all masses. They are not very happy for that. And the here thing is the Bengal partition, they did not avoid the Bengal partition. This is another thing. Right? Take it in age of extremists. So moderates was over. Extremists. Extremists. What is this extremist? Age of extremists. From where to where?
Extreme.
Extreme. E-X-T-R-E. E-X-T-R. T-T. E-X-T-R-E. M-E-M-I-S-E. Extremists. 1905 to 1920. 10 years only. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಬಂದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅವ್ರು ನಾವು ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನರೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್? See, who had this thought of extremist kind of thoughts within INC? Aurobindo Ghosh. They are the later fellows. Aurobindo Ghosh, he was the backbone of this ideology. Aurobindo Ghosh, he was the real extremist and he was the backbone of this thought. So never ever leave Aurobindo Ghosh while writing answer of the extremists. He had a thought of the extremist ideology within the INC. He was the founder of extremist thought, you can say. If at all in prelims, Lal Paul was the answer and another D option was the Aurobindo Ghosh for the question of founder of extremist ideology. Aurobindo Ghosh. These are next level question, okay? And I am expecting this question in future. And what is this pamphlet? This pamphlet, new lamp to old fellows. This is the sentence, new lamp for the old. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಜಾ ಇದೆ. New lamp for old. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? Old ಯಾರು? The grand old man of India. Moderates, Dadabhai Naoroji and his friends. ಏನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಕಣ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಶಿಪ್. ಈ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾರ ಜೊತೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ? ಹೊಸದೊಂದು ಲೈಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಸೋಣ. ನೀವು ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಇದೇನು ಟೈಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಬುಕ್. ಈ ತರ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರದೇ ಇರುತ್ತಾ? Pamphlet, that means his own book. So who is this world? Moderates. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಣ್ಣು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು? ನ್ಯೂ ಲೈಟ್. ನ್ಯೂ ಲೈಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ನ್ಯೂ ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್, ರೈಟ್? ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್. So new lamp for the world is the title of the book, which is pamphlet, which is written by Aravindo Ghosh. So he had this thought against these moderates, right? So ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದಿ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಸುಮಾರು ವರ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ? ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 1 or 2 minutes what you know about the extremists.
ಇವರು ಪೆಟಿಷನ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋರಾಗಿದೆ.
ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಓಕೆ.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೊಲ್ತಾರೆ.
ಲಾಲ್ ಬಾಲ್
ಕೊಲ್ತಾರೆ.
ಪ್ರಯೋಗ್ ಕೊಲ್ತಾರೆ.
ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿ ಕೊಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ. ಹಾ, ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನರಿಯನ್ನ ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೀವು. ಇರಲಿ. ಹಾ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಓಕೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಬಿ ಎಮೋಷನಲ್, ಬಿ ಎ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವೆಂಟ್. ಹಾ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್. Think like an officer to be an officer. Next, what is the best quality of officer? You know, never ever get emotion. Emotions should not let emotions get into you. ಸಾವಿರ ಜನ ಅಳ್ತಿರ್ಲಿ, be strong.
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
Never ever let emotions get into your heart. That is the first rule of officer. First rule. Emotions is ಒಳಗಾಗಬಾರ್ದು. Because always a decision when you taken during the time of the emotions is failure decisions only.
ಸರ್.
So officers are the decision makers,
ಸರ್.
not lawmakers, decision makers. So ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸನ್, ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಲಿಸಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಕಮ್ಯುನಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಶ್ ಆದಾಗ ನೀವಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಓಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಯಾ ಕರೋಗೆ ಅಂತ. You should take decision whether I scratch the lathi or not, whether I repair or not. You should take a decision.
ಸರ್, ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೊಲ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವ್ರು
ಆಯ್ತು.
ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್
Again I will tell you, be like an officer. To be an officer, don't go emotional. You know what is emotion? While doing ethics, I will tell you EQ and IQ, intelligent quotient and emotional quotient. So what is this? Intelligent quotient is there in everybody because we are all educated, well educated, we know IQ. But what is this EQ? Emotional quotient. Something emotional means what, you know? Emotion means not just sorrow or something. Emotionally fit means what? This is another thing. You should be emotionally strong. What is emotion? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. This is just a name. This is emotion. So what is emotion?
ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್.
That is, you know, ನಮಗೂ ಒಂದು ಹಾಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಎಮೋಷನ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Something attachment, something sorrow, that is emotion. Ethics ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. That is one part of emotion. Emotional strong means ಅದರ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇರೋದು emotion. Something which is very hard. Jinnah is emotionally fit person. Gandhiji is emotionally fit person. This one, all terrorists, they are very emotional. Naxals are emotional. That is the reason behind they become Naxals. Okay? While discussing Maoism and internal security, I'll again come back to this. Emotion. Okay, so what is this extremist ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈಗ ನಾಳೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಬಂದು ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಲಾಟ್ ಮೆನಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನೀವು ಹೀಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ತಾನೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. Okay, before this was restricted to some part of the groups or some sections. Now the under extremists they opened. Okay, this is
ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್
Okay. Festival, that too, Tilak, Bal, right? What are the kind of festivals he celebrated? Rakhi festival, Ganesha Chaturthi festival, Shivaji festival. Why?
To unite
Amen.
all peoples.
Okay. For what reason? To discuss about the national movement, freedom struggle. Okay, this is the thing. Next. Today it become a state festival of Maharashtra. State festival like Dasara in Karnataka. Next. Arey yaar. Be in the class. Be in the class. Next. What you know about the extremists? Enough? Only that much? Take reading. Yen Bardri. Okay. Aravinda Ghosh, he himself wrote a series of pamphlets in Bangadarshan. Bangadarshan is kind of channel. Who founded this? That is a journal. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Very good. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee was the founder of this Bangadarshan, and he wrote series of articles in that Bangadarshan. Who? Ghosh. Who founded Bangadarshan? Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. So main articles which was published in the Bangadarshan, most of the articles is not just against Britishers but against these moderates. He wrote series of articles against these moderates under Bangadarshan, and he criticized the moderates' method of struggle. He criticized the moderates' method of struggle, and he named their method of struggle as political mendicancy. First write this, I'll explain. Political mendicancy, CNCY. ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಭಿಕ್ಷಾಟನೆ ಕನ್ನಡ. Now you understood, I guess. The moderates' method of politics, the moderates' method of freedom struggle is political mendicancy. ಭಿಕ್ಷಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದವರು, ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು? ಅರವಿಂದ ಘೋಷ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಬಂಗದರ್ಶನ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. You moderates, your method of struggle is political mendicancy. ಭಿಕ್ಷಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ನೀವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಗಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಕೊಡಿ. Right. And he portrayed who?
Aravinda Ghosh.
He portrayed India as a mother. Why he portrayed India as a mother? To give an emotional touch to Indians towards the nationalism. Mother India, Bharat Mata. He portrayed India as a mother India to give emotional aspects to nationalism, to Indian nationalism. This is one thing. So ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೀತಾರೆ ಲಾಲ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅರವಿಂದ ಘೋಷ್ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ರಾಜ್ ನಾರಾಯಣ್ ಬೋಸ್ and Ashwini Kumar Datta. Raj Narayan Bose and Ashwini Kumar Datta were other early extremists before Lal Balpal. You should know about this because books always concentrate on those fellows. But before that also there is lot many things here. Raj Narayan Bose and Ashwini Kumar Datta, they are the other early extremists. Vishnu Shastri Chiplankar. He wrote Nibandha Mala. These are all early journals. Nibandha Mala against British. He wrote Nibandha Mala. These are the freedom journals, struggle journals. Nibandha Mala. This is a collection of the poems with extremist thought. This is the collection of the poems with extremist thought. Okay. See, I'll ask one question. Say it right or wrong. All extremists are from Congress only.
No,
No.
All moderates are from Congress only.
Yes.
This all word is always dangerous. So never ever use all as a right. Never ever say all as a right. So all extremists is not from the Congress. All extremists are not from the Congress. So Congress, that constitutes a major portion of the extremists. But the word all is always wrong. The trio of the Congress, continue the statement. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he was also called as Lokamanya Tilak, right?
Yes.
Why we call him the Lokamanya? Because he was the foremost extremist. Foremost ardent Muslim ಇರ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ foremost ardent extremist. Lal Bal Pal, right? And he was called the father of Indian unrest. You know this? Tilak was called father of Indian unrest. Father of Indian unrest. Who called him a father of Indian unrest? Who called him? ಯಾರು ಕರೆದಿದ್ದವರು? Indians, a British officer called Valentine Chickasaw. Valentine Chickasaw, Valentine, Valentine Chickasaw. He called him. He was the father of Indian interest. By looking at his actions, by looking at his work, he founded a Ganesha Festival Committee in 1893. He organized a no tax campaign 53. Sorry, Festival 1893, Ganesha Festival Committee in 1893, and he organized a no tax campaign. No tax campaign. Where no tax campaign? Tax cut bedi anta el campaign madidru. In famine affected areas of the Bombay Presidency. Famine affected areas.
No tax.
Campaign. No tax. You should not pay tax. So campaign. No tax campaign. In famine affected Bombay Presidency. In 1894, very next year. And he founded Shivaji Festival Committee very next year, 1895. So nimge write it in a series anta question barbodu. Ganapati Festival, no tax campaign, Shivaji Festival, 93, 94, 95. Yes or no? Shivaji Festival Committee, 1895. 1895. He was sentenced for 18 months of rigorous imprisonment. 18 months of rigorous imprisonment for supporting Chapekar brothers. Who is this Chapekar brothers? Who killed the British officers? Chapekar brothers.
Months of jail.
Who killed English officers Irist and Rand in 1897. The officers' name Irist and Rand. These are the two British officers who was killed by these Chapekar brothers in 1897. So he supported them. So in the name of supporting him, they imprisoned. British was imprisoned this Tilak. You know what? This is just an academic, or this is just an official reason. What is the real reason? He was the great threat in Bombay Presidency for the British. So ಎಲ್ಲದರ ಕಡೆ ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಮರ್ಡರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. That's it. Forget. So he wrote a book called Geeta Rahasya. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಜೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತ. ಅವ್ನು ಜೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದು Geeta Rahasya. What does it mean? Geeta Rahasya means what?
Bhagavad Gita.
He motivated the nationalist movements, youths through Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು? ಅವರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಟ್ಟವರ ತರ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ಸ್ನೆಲ್ಲ. ಇವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವರ ತರ. This is kind of Kurukshetra ಯುದ್ಧ, like this. So he portrayed Geeta Rahasya. This was the book which was written by Tilak in prison. So let us stop here. Again, there is a lot many things to discuss. I will continue this in tomorrow class. Okay? Thank you.